Now, there is fresh political upheaval in Sri Lanka this morning. The country's president now out of the country totally, forced out by protests over the economic crisis. And protesters are now trying to drive out the prime minister as well. This is new video into us from the capital, Colombo, and you see these protesters storming the grounds of the Prime Minister's office and taking over the building. They are demanding that he resign, but the Prime Minister has vowed to do that in response to the protests, although right now he's confirmed as Sri Lanka's acting president. Ishan Garg has more on the growing crisis.
Angered by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's escape to the Maldives, the protesters stormed Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe's house. Thousands of them took to the streets in Sri Lanka on Wednesday. The police tried to disperse the crowds by using several rounds of heavy tear gas, but they were unable to stop many of these protesters. The state broadcaster also went off the air for a while after an angry mob of protesters surrounded the building. But later it came back on very quickly, claiming that the disruption was indeed planned. The US Embassy in Sri Lanka has also suspended its service for 2 days due to the violence. Many are unsure if Gotabaya Rajapaksa will actually resign, as he had promised just days ago, or if he will choose to stay abroad until the situation improves. Political observers believe remaining in office, even if only on paper, gives him immunity from criminal prosecution. And that may be crucial, as many in the country blame him and his brother, the ex-Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, for Sri Lanka's descent into economic misery. Many locals say the Rajapaksa family has corrupted Sri Lankan politics and implemented desperate populist measures that bankrupted the country, leaving it in a situation where buying essentials such as food and medicine has become unaffordable for many. The country now faces more than $50 billion in sovereign debt, and more than $7 billion of that is due just this year. And many experts say that the country will not be able to pay back until it receives a bailout. The Sri Lankan parliament will meet next week to elect a new president, but for any government, getting the country back on track will be an uphill battle. Ishan Garg for CBC News, New Delhi.